Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. I don't use the gavel because everybody's quiet. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
So
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second item is approval of the minutes. Those have been circulated. Do we have a motion to approve? So moved. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Freeman.
All right, board members, it's a privilege to do this each year in January, and that is to recognize our teachers of the year. And as you know, with our almost 500 teachers, it is a stellar group. And each year we get to recognize one representative from each school who then is a part of a consideration for district teachers of the year. And we select 2 from that group to compete for the state teacher of the year. And here they all are. Welcome to the meeting virtually, everybody. I'm going to get started here. What we're going to do is I would like to call the Teachers of the Year names out, ask the principal if they're able to join us to offer some comments about your person. So you just buzz in when it's your time, okay? We're going to start with Dolly Ridge Elementary School, and our Teacher of the Year is Miss Stacy Anderson. Congratulations, Stacy. Dr. Aaron Dahl, are you on board?
Yes, sir.
Right.
We are so proud of Stacy. She teaches 2nd grade at Dolly Ridge, and obviously I was fortunate enough to inherit some amazing teachers from 3 schools. So I do not get credit for hiring her, but I will take credit for her. And she came from West, and Stacy is just a positive team player, amazing teammate. That 2nd grade team just gelled so quickly. She also does like aerobics after school with our staff. I mean, she is a dynamo, full of energy, and does incredible things with her kids in the classroom. She choreographed a dance that you may have seen on YouTube last year. That was pretty cool around the holidays. So we're just proud of her. Super creative teacher, amazing personality. She also happens to be Coach Anderson's daughter, so the legendary Coach Anderson. So we are awfully proud of Stacy Anderson.
Stacy, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Outstanding. Teaches 5th grade, of course, at Dolly Ridge. That's such an impressionable age as they hit the middle school, and just your age about Stacy. So congratulations again. Kim Kahn is our Teacher of the Year at Vestavia Hills Elementary, Liberty Park. Kim, congratulations. I see you there. All right.
It gives me great pleasure.
Blair. Go ahead, Blair. You got it. Go.
I'm so excited to share about Kim. Thank you, Dr. Freeman. Kim is one of our fabulous 3rd grade teachers at Liberty Park Elementary, and our school and our community is a better place because she is here with us. She was formerly last semester a remote 3rd grade teacher and has very quickly transitioned to the traditional role again. She's been at Vestavia Hills Elementary, Liberty Park since 2017 after teaching previously in a few other states as well. She serves on our Hope Institute team and is a vital part of our Leader in Me process, serving as co-chair of our Lighthouse Committee. And it's just been a huge part of our school's work with shaping and identifying our core values and how we can raise our children from the inside out. If you know her favorite quote makes sense and you see it, it permeates in all she does in the classroom. She clings to our youth, we must not. And she does that in every way, shape, and form all the time. I know from both professional experience, we were blessed to have her come into our homes last spring in remote learning then. And so getting to watch a parent and now as a colleague is a real gift. And I'm very thankful for all the ways that she takes care of our children and our team. So congratulations, Kim. We're so proud of you.
Thank you, Blair. Congratulations, Kim. All right. Our next Teacher of the Year is from Liberty Park Middle School, and it's Miss Amy Cook. Amy, congratulations. Right. Roger, you out there?
I'm out here in the world with everybody else.
Okay.
We're so excited to present Amy Crick as our teacher here at Liberty Park Middle School. She is one of our 6th grade math teachers. She is also our math team leader, doing a great job with those students. But Amy is in her 3rd year with us, and teachers have just looked up to her as a leader in so many directions. And one is the innovation she takes into her classrooms and meeting the needs of all of her kids, whether high or low. And she's energetic, she's outgoing. There's not an issue that she's not willing to tackle or a problem she's not willing to solve. And the parents have just flocked to her because of her positivity and the way she handles herself in the classroom. And we just could be more excited to have her on board with us.
Thank you, Roger.
Congratulations, Amy. Fantastic. Our next teacher of the year is from Vestavia Hills High School freshman campus, Ben Osborne. Ben, congratulations. And your principal's in.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Good, there you are. Good, Ben, your principal's in the room here, so I'm gonna yield to Ms. Roselle.
Stand up or,
Yes.
hello? Okay, so, Ben teaches AP, World History. And let me just say this, from the very get-go, when we found out we were going to be doing traditional school and remote school, Ben was one of those very pivotal kinds of individuals who said, you know what, I'm going to embrace this. We're going to go with this. And I got so much parent positive feedback that the learning was engaging, just the way that he was able to reach out, not only to his traditional students, but the remote learners. So he very quickly became a go-to person at the freshman campus, even at the main campus. He was offering innovative tips. He was offering ways to connect with students. And, it's just his enthusiasm, really, I think, upped the game for a lot of our teachers who are really trying to navigate how to handle the remote learning environment. So congratulations to you, well-deserved. And I also ask, because they're with you on 5 days a week, I'm with you maybe 1 to 2 days a week. So is there anything you want to add?
Well, Ben has just been such a mentor for many of our teachers, and his students absolutely love him, both virtual and traditional students, and we just appreciate all he does to make the freshman campus such a positive environment.
I find myself in Ben's room at least 3 or 4 times a week just to say, hey, what are we doing today? I love listening in on his lectures or whatever he's presenting to the kids, so he's phenomenal, just phenomenal.
Ben, congratulations. You get backdrop of the day. It's really good back there. Very apropos. Appreciate that. Okay, our next teacher of the year is our teacher at Vestavia Hills Elementary, Kyle Heights, Ms. Kim Paulson. Kim, congratulations.
Hey, thank you, everyone.
Dr. Hunsberger.
Yes, sir. I'm happy to talk about Kim. Kim is a special education teacher here at Cahaba Heights, and for many years she was just a part of our community as a parent. And she's taught many years in a neighboring district, but got to join our team a few years ago, and it has been such a joy to have her with us. She is such a humble teacher. She has extensive training in reading and dyslexia and has really been an advocate for that area in our school with intervention, and particularly this year with the Literacy Act and just supporting us in so many ways, teaching us. But she's also very unassuming and quiet, and her calm demeanor has really served her team and her students so very well. She's the team leader for special ed this year and just brings so much to the group. She also leads our parent action team just to get parents more involved in what's happening in and around the school, and has helped to kick off a book club with parents a couple of years ago. And so she's been a great asset to our community, and we are very grateful to have her here at the Heights. So congratulations, Kim, you represent us well.
Congratulations. Kim, a calm demeanor is worth a Nobel Prize. Good. Thank you. Our next Teacher of the Year is from Vestavia Hills Elementary West, Mandy Smith. Congratulations, Mandy.
I would love to brag on Mandy and tell you what a wonderful, phenomenal leader and teacher she is at West School. She has 22 years experience, but has only been with us for 5 years. So that shows how quickly she gained the respect and the trust of all of our teachers. She was a kindergarten teacher and then moved into the academic interventionist role. She's a key player on our student support team. And besides all that she does to support academic needs, she's cares about the student's social and emotional care too. She is on one of our Connect 5 team for a few students that need that extra care and check in. And is currently for the past 2 years been working on her dyslexia certification, or MSLE, which sounds very fancy. So she spent a lot of her own personal time in the summers and throughout the school year working on that. And our students are the beneficiaries of that. So we're really excited to honor her at West.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mandy. Very good. Okay, our next recognition is our Teacher of the Year at Vestavia Hills Elementary East, and also our District Elementary Teacher of the Year, and that is Heather Hurt. Heather, congratulations.
All right, I'd like to say a word or two about Heather. Heather, first off, you just unmuted. How long were you in real estate before you came over to education?
Almost 10 years, right at 10 years.
We made the right decision. 10 years in real estate. I know you must have been a passionate realtor, passion, you exude passion, but maybe it's because you're in education and this is what you were meant to do. When Heather came to Central, like Ty, I didn't choose Heather to come to East. I was lucky enough to have her sent to East. But within 5 years of becoming an educator, she was named by the Milken Foundation as one of the top educators in the state of Alabama. I mean, if that doesn't scream passion for what you do, I don't know what does. And if you go by Heather's room, just the creativity is off the charts. The relationships between her and the kids, it's just so comfortable. The kids love her. They love being in her room. These are things I kind of knew because Heather was already a parent at East before she moved over as a teacher. But what I've got to witness firsthand is just that level of advocacy she has for her children, whether it be an academic need, social emotional need, or even a behavioral need. I've seen Heather with a child who had a behavioral situation and just the compassion she had for that child, wanting to help that child. It was just fantastic. What a model for others. And then finally, you always kind of worry, someone with this level of passion, how will they play with the other teachers on the team? And I can tell you, Heather not only is a great leader of her team, but she's also a great follower of her team. She will take the lead role when she needs to take the lead role, but she also will take the role of encourager, follower, listener. She'll help me when I need help. She'll speak up when she feels like it's important, but she also is just a supporter all the way around. So I can't think of a better person that I know to move ahead and represent Vestavia Hills in the state competition. Well done, Heather. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to have you at East.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Richardson. I'm very honored. I absolutely love what I do. I love the students. I love being here at East. I love my coworkers, and excited to represent our district. Very, very honored. Thank you.
Great. Our last recognition is Vestavia Hills High School Teacher of the Year and District Secondary Teacher of the Year, Terrell Horton. Ms. Horton's not with us this evening, but nevertheless, we want to congratulate him. He is a fine representative of the high school, and we'll Ms. Rosette offer some comments about him.
Okay, yes, he could not be with us, but, Mr. Horton has just an unbelievable ability to not only connect with students in his band program, but also with all walks of life. And I find myself, and I know many of you have worked with him through the years, you find yourself seeking him out for all things. He's very wise counsel. And he has a heart for students. Also, I mean, the musicians in his class, if you go into his classroom, I mean, you literally just want to stay. You're transfixed by what he's doing and bringing out of these students. And he's also a man of many talents. Somebody one day I was walking in the hall and they said, I'm going to Mr. Horton's room to pick up a cake. He's very gifted, as his wife is, with cake decorating and things like that. But, we're just so blessed to have a Mr. Horton in our building because he pulls things out of students where they may not be successful in other aspects of their academics or a lot of them are successful, but this is their one thing that they're truly passionate about, and he brings that out. And so we're just so blessed to have him in our district, as all of you. But anyway, thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Nicole. Our last teacher of the year I want to recognize is from Pizzitz Middle School. It is Miss Madison Eskew. Madison, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All
This
right.
is such an honor.
Good. Well, here to speak on your behalf is Dr. Chris Pennington. Dr. Pennington, take it away.
We're just so excited to have Miss Eskew as our teacher of the year this year. She is an unbelievably selfless person when it comes to the job that she does for our students. Ms. Eskew works with our life skills students in special education and works with them on the critical skills that they need to be successful in life, but not just at a minimum, but everything that they need. And I've seen that position so many times, and it's good to make sure that they have a basic foundation on what they need to succeed in life, but that's not good enough for Ms. Eskew. Her wisdom at her age is unmatched, and her peers respect that about her. And at the same time, she has a very kind and considerate heart. My first meeting when I was at Pizzitz and met with the staff, she couldn't be in the room, and I don't know if she remembers this or not. She couldn't be at the meeting, so before I could even get in the room, she ran up to me. I didn't know who she was, and she stopped me and grabbed me. She said, "I can't be there, but I am thinking about you." So that's the type of person that she is, and we're just so excited to have her be a part of our just outstanding staff, and as a servant leader, she represents us quite well. We're very proud of you, Ms. Eskew. Thank you for all that you do.
So I've had a great privilege to get to watch these fantastic teachers in leadership roles. A lot of them, some of them served on committees that I've had. Some of them are teacher leaders in their buildings. There's a reason why that they make this list this year, and just outstanding. And I'm so thankful as a superintendent and as a colleague and as a parent to know we've got this level of exemplary educators in our schools. So thank you, Dr. Baker.
I just want to say congratulations to everybody. And, it's, when you think about our school system, it starts out at a high level of excellence. So when you see these teachers that are just raising that bar even higher, it's just so impressive to see. And kind of the theme that was running through as I was listening to, to the leadership talk is just, this theme of relationships, the relationships that you have with the students and with your peers and as leaders in the school and just with everybody. And, I think you guys just do a fabulous job. I'm so excited that we can recognize you today, and thank you for all you do.
Yeah. All right. We'll be sending something your way. It's appreciation from our board, teachers of the year. And like all good teachers of the year, I'm sure you're really busy right now. So if you need to unplug, you can do that, or you can stay with us. But we thank you for joining us tonight. All right.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We'll move on to item 5, financial statement. Ms. Brown.
Good afternoon. I provided the December 2020 financial statements and check register for your review. As of December 2020, we have collected 19.2% of our budgeted ad valorem tax revenues compared to 13.6% that we had collected at this time last year. While our December collections were up quite a bit, for January, our collections are significantly lower than last year. So this being the last week of January, I'm hoping for some big checks. So just to prepare you, it may not be, as good as we expect next month, but I'm hearing some, buzz about, the county cashing checks slower than they have in the past and with all the mail issues. So it's sort of not surprising that they are down, but I'm going to continue to watch it closely and try to, I've already asked my colleague at the city. He calls me personally and says, hey, I got a check for you to come pick up. So we don't rely on the mail for that. So, and as of December 2020, our total expenditures are at 25.4%. And this is compared to 24.7% last year. So it's very reasonable and comparable. And I do want to share a little bit of news. Last week, we received notification from the state that we're going to receive an ESSER 1 and ESSER 2 allocation in the amount of about $650,000. And this will help offset costs that we've incurred back to March of 2020 for COVID-related expenditures. So that'll help us quite a bit. So, and all board bank accounts have been reconciled as of December 31st.
Appreciate that. Just echo what Ms. Brown said, the expenditures locally we have taken on above what federal resources were provided to us prior to this amount was $750,000. So this will offset a good portion of what locally we had to take on. So it's been quite an endeavor financially. So we're much appreciated to get that additional amount. So I recommend the board approve the financial statement for December 2020.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve? So moved. Second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Item 6, I recommend the board approve consent items related to 2 out-of-state field trips.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Dr. Baker, I'd like to make one quick note about this. These out-of-state field trips that I've asked you to approve are not overnight trips. We are not approving any overnight trips for school-sponsored activities at this point for the foreseeable future. And candidly, I don't know if that will change during the course of the spring. But we are allowing some of their out-of-state day-type trips occur. So we have a number of clubs and, of course, academic, mostly athletic trips that they're wanting to take. So we want to try to be as reasonable as we can about that. These are not overnight trips, and you would have to approve those anyway. So,
All in favor?
Aye.
okay, under business, I'd like to ask you to I recommend that your board approve the extended provisions of Family Medical Leave Act under the Families First Coronavirus Recovery Act through March 31st, 2021.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve? So moved. Second?
Second.
Yes, the back in March when this was 2020, when this originally was approved, the idea was to provide additional family medical leave as much as 10 days paid leave for items related to COVID. And it's a very complex formula that occurs, but we've had a number of employees use this year because they've been quarantined or that it was a result of a positive. And the CARES Act that was passed just recently included this provision that would allow employers to extend this through March the 31st. And so that's what the recommendation is today. And I have Meredith with us just in case you had any specific questions about this particular leave policy.
Is this, if somebody used it previously, can they use it again up to March?
So there's 10 days total for the CARES Act from the beginning of March from last March until we end March 31st. We do have the option for some remote work that we've used that, those that are applicable can use if they are able to. So we've not come upon a situation where I felt like it has compromised anyone at this point. So we've been able to really take care of everyone. When Dr. Freeman said it's, extensive, we have the 6 options, one even going into caring for your child if they're quarantined. That looks a little bit different. And if you need me to explain that to you, I'll be glad to. Rather than just the 10 days, it's kind of at 2/3 pay, which we can also take a third of a sick day, add that day, and they can take the whole day. There's nothing I feel more confident speaking about than this, so I would go on and on if y'all have any questions. I feel very confident about it, but those are the type of things that are extended into this act, so.
But if you use the leave, there's not 10 more days.
Right.
Okay, no more days.
10 total.
You just didn't
Right.
lose it, it was
Sick
gonna
leave.
expire December 31st.
That's
It was just that easy.
Yeah. Well, the important point to make is what Meredith was saying, in addition to that, we have been allowing employees to work from home if they're able. And so if they can provide instruction from home, then we don't have to get into this leave or their sick leave. And many have done that. And I actually walked in on the class at freshman campus last week when it was going on, the teacher was teaching remotely. So that is a frequent occurrence, and that's a positive thing. And in the end, it's what's best for our children. So they can continue to do that. So balancing all of that, and surprisingly through December, Ms. Brown sent me a report today, through December, our school year, we're only slightly up in substitute costs at this point. And I haven't analyzed the specifics of that, but we had 1 month where we really had a lot of substitute costs with us in October, but otherwise we have balanced out a great deal. So our costs are not where I feared they might be with substitute. So even with all this in play, we've managed okay on leave. So
So is that kind of a side effect of the shutdown in the spring? Do you?
in terms
The no
of,
substitute, the lower substitutes?
well, I would do, one factor in August was it started a week later, so that number was lower. But Thanksgiving, Christmas time were lower, generally speaking, and that may have been because we had less personal days being used. I just haven't analyzed that far enough to know what happened, but October, when we did have some growth in employee quarantines and such, is where we really saw it take off. On the balance, it's been good. So this recommendation just allows, if the occurrence does occur through March 31, that we can approve it. So.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Item 8, I recommend the board approve the personnel items as submitted.
You've heard the superintendent's recommendation. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Board members, two reports I'm going to provide with you this evening. One is attendance, and it'll grab a couple of things when I talk about this with you. But I provided this information to you that's also available on our website to show you the attendance tracking for our students through this point being 1/22/2021. And I won't go through every day, obviously, with you, but you can see where the spikes occurred. They occurred in early September. Then we had some right before Thanksgiving, and we had some right before Christmas that took place. But since then, since our return, you can see where our numbers have been. We've been very pleased with those numbers at this point that we have. So just some summary points to make to you is that the percentage estimate of students with COVID-19 since August 20th that's been reported to us is 6.2% of our students. And the percentage of estimate of students quarantined for close contact is 24.87%. So it's about a quarter of our students have had quarantine at some point because of this. Percentage estimate of students who test positive after close contact, that's 0.25%. Close contact at school. That continues to be an important reason why we say school is a safe place for students to be. Percentage of staff with COVID-19 positive since August 20th that we know of is 12.33%, so that's higher than students, of course. And percentage of staff who have quarantined because of close contact since August 20th, that's about 30%. So those numbers are higher than students. And we have the breakdown by school just for people if they have any questions specifically, but our numbers right now, all things considered, given the circumstances, are good and are as low as they've been since mid-September. We're hopeful that stays the case. Now, one of the pieces of this that is part of our precautions and, that we have in place, as I mentioned earlier, we're in weighted field trips, and we've stayed away from overnight trips at this point, and we'll continue to do that. That does have some bearing on some programming later in the spring. So there are some events that are really waiting to hear from us. Cheer is one, dance is one. They have national competitions in April, and Ms. Roselle and I had a conversation today again about this, and it's really on hold. But some of you have asked me questions about this, so I wanted to just have a conversation as much as you would like about it. But what we know about those type of events is our students are not out of pocket of any money at this point. And one of the things that I've just said all along is we want to make sure we are not out of pocket for dollars, that if we get flights or whatever the case may be, we can't get the return on that. So, all of these competitions are trying to be careful, I think, to not create some choice like that, because nobody's willing to make that choice at this point. So there has been some fundraising that's taken place for local and national competition in these areas. There's been some for local, I should say. There hasn't been any, as I can tell, from national competition. That was the question, Jack, you asked me about. But we talked with the sponsor today, and they're just waiting on that piece. So a key piece is just not that we don't have students out of money, that our parents out of it that invest, and we can't take a trip. So, but it's a precaution we think is still important, and I just don't know at this point we can do those things.
How long do you think you have till the decision's going to need to be made?
I don't think that the people that run these competitions have said that yet. From what I gathered today, they're not really saying when that deadline is going to be, I think, because they don't know. But I think if you think about vaccine, which we're going to talk about in a few minutes, at the rate that we're distributing now, it would be over a year before adults all get it, before you get to children. So I'm skeptical to think we can do those things. There are some virtual options, but I'm not sure the teams will want to do that or not. I would expect it, but those are probably the lingering pieces right now in terms of what would be overnight trips that I'm just not ready to bring to you, and don't know that we can. So it's tough things.
Yeah, definitely.
But all that being said, the schools are doing their best, I think, to try to create as much normalcy with other things as possible. I won't put you on the spot this month, but there are a lot of things people have interest in. Are we going to be able to do this? Are we going to be able to do this in the spring? So there's a lot of work and effort and thought going into trying to make the student experience positive for the end of the year. But we'll talk more about that.
Dr. Griffin, this is our first full week of our second semester kids back. So what did our percentages end up with? How many?
Yeah, I wanted to note something to you that when you get into the details of this, the last few days which our students have been back, the percentages for positives and quarantines are down, but that's because we gained about 300 students. So we are now at a little over 900 students that are virtual, which means about 30% came back. When you look at around 1,300, I hate to not be so specific, but those numbers change almost every day. But say we had about 1,300 students virtual in first semester, about 300 returned. So now we have, just percentage-wise, about 900 students. The percentage is about 13% of our students have remained virtual and will through the semester. Yeah, so that number is a little bit skewed that you would see if you looked at the item by day, it dropped a little bit.
And are we thinking the spikes, I'm guessing, Halloween and Thanksgiving?
Well, I think the one before Thanksgiving had more to do, I think, with precautionary quarantine. I think a lot of families kept children home. The one right before Christmas, I think likely the same thing. If you look at the attendance dates on the 18th, when it really just blew up, that's right before Christmas holiday. So
do we anticipate a spike that's quarantining in spring break?
There will be a lot of remote learning.
So one of the things that McGee and Brenda Silver are working on is putting together some information related to vaccine. And so this week, our employees will all receive just a message about vaccine, which is we don't know a lot at this point. But in the meantime, we would like to try to facilitate a provider on our campuses for our employees. I don't know if this is feasible. We hope it is, but we're working with that goal in mind. And so we'll be asking employees this week for a survey. Do you plan to take the vaccine? Do you not plan? Have you already taken it? And it'll be anonymous, of course. We're just trying to gauge numbers to see if we have enough that we do it, and then we'll look at the feasibility with the provider if that's even possible. They'll also get some information. One of our local pediatricians from Children's of Alabama is going to has a bit of Q&A with about the vaccine. We've got some literature for them that employees to look at. We want to try to be information providers, not necessarily sway their thought, but to make sure there's not misconception about vaccine. So our folks are fully informed, and that goes out probably tomorrow afternoon for everyone. And as soon as we are able to distribute vaccine or allow employees to do it, we'll make that happen.
For second dose too, then just do first dose.
Yeah, and
Before we get the second one.
right now, I have to tell you, I mean, one of our contingency thought processes are when you do it, and is there a time that they need, to get over the vaccine? It's first or second vaccine. We need to think about a day, depending on where the campuses were. I just don't have a lot of information to share about those things, but we are thinking about it and trying to contingency plan until when we know vaccines are coming. Johnson & Johnson's scheduled to release one, I think, in the coming weeks, perhaps. That is a single dose vaccine. And that would be nice, to not have, but I don't know what the effects of those would be at this point. I don't know much. But that's the state of mind we have now. On to other things that have been really fun in light of a really interesting year. We brought on the freshman campus, and that's kind of gotten hidden and obscure in all of the things that we talked about, but it's something you've been wanting to hear about, and we wanted to share with you just an update of freshman, all things freshman campus through the midpoint of the year. So, Joselle, Ms. Chandler, Ms. Brown, come on up.
Well, I'm going to hang out right here. You can go in here.
Jennifer's got the control. As long as Jennifer hangs in this room, she controls the presentation.
Well, you know all of us, Jennifer Brown, David Howard, and myself. This is a question that I'm asked quite frequently. How in the world do you be a principal of two campuses that are not housed in the same location? I say with strong leadership, because these guys are there 5 days a week. I am there. I can one day and sometimes two, but always a 5 to 7 minute drive if I'm needed. And I just cannot say enough about these two. They are, first of all, they've embraced the freshman campus from the very planning stages, and I think that's a critical component, because the things that they're constantly looking for is how do we make this the best experience for our students and our families, and so that goes a long way. Very quickly, we're going to get into some of the nuts and bolts about why it's such a great place. We have roughly, I ran the numbers today, we have about 557 students enrolled, and we have about 80 of those-ish that are remote. I got 2 emails before I drove over here. One's for the main campus and one's for the freshman campus, so that may take that number down. We have 71 teachers and staff, and when I say staff, that is including our C&P, our custodial crew, our paras, all that. But 20 of those we split between 2 campuses. So that's about 50 that are there all the time. And it really does take that, though. To do things at a high level, you need high level of adult engagement. And I'm telling you, I think that the people that are there on that campus, they want to be there. They love being there. And when you walk into the doors and you're walking through the classrooms, which I love to do, it's just an exciting place to be. And so I'm thoroughly thrilled to be presenting this to you, because I kind of feel like it's the great hidden secret that a lot of people don't get to hear a lot about, because we've had so many other things. So I'm going to let them kind of take this, and I'll jump in if I'm needed.
So we love being at the freshman campus. It has been such a great experience. We would love for y'all to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We try to post everything that's going on each day. And like she said, the faculty and staff, I can't say enough about this crew. Many of them packed up their classrooms and said, I want to be a part of this new adventure. Some of them, are newcomers just to the school system, but we have the best faculty and staff. And I am so grateful for this group. This has been a really hard year for educators in general across the nation. Across in the world. And they have they picked it up a notch, and we've had a great year. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about advisory. So I think in April, when we had our Google Meet, and we talked a little bit about the freshman campus, and we talked about our plan for advisory. we had to put that plan on hold because of the traditional and the red and blue days and just not being able to have free-flowing students through just really trying to figure things out. Just as a recap, we have 8 periods and so does the high school, the main campus. They actually all students have a lunch study. What we did at the freshman campus is we took that study hall part and we broke it off into that basically the same time frame, but we put it second period. We did that for a reason. We knew we were going to be transporting students from the main campus, and so we put it there just as a cushion, just in case we were trying to figure things out with the busing. But Dr. Martin, that has worked out perfectly. We can't believe all the things we just are just amazed by. But it's second period, and so all students, all teachers have this advisory period. We haven't been able to implement our full plan, but we've been able to do a lot of really great things during this time. And so I've just shared some of the fun things. You know, we've been able to offer biology, geometry, and organizational interventions. We've been able to offer ACT prep classes to our students who are interested in just learning a little bit about the ACT. I have about 30 students that show up every Tuesday and Thursday, and then I have about 10 virtual students that show up Tuesdays and Thursdays a little bit later that we meet with. So anything we offer to traditional students, we also offer to virtual students. And so you can see that we have our RISE students, or our youth leadership students regularly visit the campus. And then we even have them come and we had them come and talk about why they don't drink and things like that. It was a really great assembly. So we're able to do a lot of things during advisory, and we're just looking forward to really implementing our full plan next year.
Let me add to that, Jennifer. The advisory allows us to do things without interrupting academic time. It's such a flexible time here. I can use it for fire drills, bus evacuations. But once we get full swing, I want everybody to realize that coming from a middle school environment into the 9th grade, we wanted this to be a time for kids to learn how to transition to high school. So advisory gives us so many opportunities moving forward to grow them, to develop them, to key in on certain subjects that we really need them to know about, just to make that high school experience even better, the 10th through the 12th grade years. So we're looking forward to getting kind of full swing into that.
As a matter of fact, today we started course selection. So we were able to, usually we would have a big assembly, and you just can't have huge assemblies now. And so we were able to push that as a video out through advisory so we could kind of work through with the students to start that course selection for next year. The kids are bugging me about this, but as it got closer to Christmas, we wanted to have some competitions, just have some fun advisory competitions on Fridays. And you can see Jackson Weaver right there. He won the basketball competition. We even did it Instagram Live. I think you watched that.
I did watch it. It was Instagram
So they
Live.
come in the mornings, and we have like mini pep rallies in the mornings, and we bring out the basketball, and they were like, let's have a competition. And so we tried to incorporate some fun too with advisory.
In the future, there could be a ping pong tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe some home run derby.
The girls want to do volleyball, so that's next. And I told them, let me get through course selection, let us get through clubs. So I'm going to talk about that next, and then we're going to get back in the swing of those advisory competitions. Right now, Ms. Duncan's class has the trophy. We even made a trophy for advisory that will go from class to class. So we put together a leadership team. We have our SGA, and y'all, they have really done a great job with our school, especially in the beginning with homecoming and just trying to keep the fun alive in our school. But we also put together a little core values leadership team, and we did that through Hope Academy. We've been working with Hope Leadership Academy. So we had teachers nominate students, and when we met with this leadership team, we talked, and they said, we really just want to have more fun, like more involvement, like more school involvement. And the first thing they really wanted to do clubs. And so they made a list of clubs, and we will lead these clubs totally student-led, just give us the opportunity to do it. And so we put together a list of clubs, and that's actually what we're working on right now, is we're gonna start, we have our club leadership training on Wednesday with our club leaders. We actually have some students from the main campus who are club leaders here. They're gonna come over and train our 49 club leaders, including 12 virtual students who want to be a part of the leadership. And so, and don't worry, that's going to be an awesome club, the TikTok club. That's a new one. It's going to be really good. We have a world famous TikTok teacher. Her name is Miss Hall, and so she's leading that. So no worries, it's going to be a great club. But that's what the leadership team. They said, we want to have some more fun things happening in school on top of the exciting academics and athletics we have going on. And so that's what we've been doing. As a matter of fact, you can see this is some of our RISE students. This is a group of the RISE students who came to talk to our students back in December and November about leadership opportunities. And so all of these, this was our RISE leadership meeting we had that before school last week. And so we have, again, just trying to develop leaders. And you can see that is Dr. Ray. That's hard.
One cool thing we have so many kids that are getting involved. So for ninth graders to get involved, I don't know how much that would happen if they were all together on the main campus. Normally they just sit back and wait their turn. But here they are learning to get involved. So when they get over to that main campus, they will be ready to roll.
And they're emailing us daily asking, is there a leadership opportunity for me? And I think that's really good. And we want to try to provide as many leadership opportunities as we can. So,
But I would say this too, having been on the original conversations 2 and 3 years ago, that was a critical concern of our parents and from students. They wanted that experience, all of those wonderful things that were going on the main campus. Their big concern of doing this was, it's not going to be the same experience. Well, I will tell you, this is an experience on steroids because they not only they're getting a lot of those things, but it's age appropriate, it's developmentally appropriate. So they're going to be able to come to the 10th grade having these kind of preset ideas of what excellence and tradition that looks like. So I'm super excited about the developing leaders because this is a great way that we're getting ready for that next step.
And I don't think they would have had as many opportunities at the main campus. I want them to share that with you.
So I don't know if many of you know, usually law enforcement, military organizations use challenge coins. So I came up with an idea. First, I wanted to award all of our leadership team members. We have 24 of them. I wanted to award them a challenge coin it says, for your inspirational leadership. And thank you for making this. So I presented each of them, called them in personally, gave them their leadership coin. I thought it was kind of neat. It's not just a paper certificate. They really like them. They're really cool. So they each got a leadership coin. But one of the ideas that I had is I kind of look at the leadership team as sort of a think tank. They come to us with ideas. They want to share ideas and things that they would like to see in the school. So I shared this idea with them, and this is going to start up in February, but this is our Above and Beyond award coin. So what will happen is we will convene the leadership team. I've explained this to them. They're giving me feedback on it. I will give each of them one of these. They will be in possession of this, and there are a set of rules for this coin. I will make an announcement out to the student population once our 24 students have these, and I will say we have 24 mystery people within this building that are looking for students that are going above and beyond. And that could be above and beyond in the school, or that could be above and beyond in their community, if they're volunteering at church or soup kitchens, whatever they know about a student that's a freshman. I would like for you to look at someone that you can award this coin to. So it's sort of a pay it forward idea. They will present the coin to a person, and the rules of the coin are you take a picture with the coin and you put a caption on there as to why you presented your coin to this person. And then you will email us that picture and caption to Ms. Brown or I, and then we will put it on our Twitter and Instagram feed. Then they will then in turn take that coin and that set of rules and look for the next person to present the coin to. So just kind of a pay it forward, kind of a community development, social experiment in a way, because I know that some kids will get this coin and probably think, I really don't want to give this coin away. So we're prepared for that, but I'm hoping they really want to give it away. I hope that they're really looking at the next person that's doing something really cool that they would like to award it to. So,
and he talked about this with me. First of all, I got goosebumps. But, we always talk about we have 2 feeder schools, that we are one rebel. This is the perfect way to make our students feel like they are one school. And, if I'm from Pizzitz and he's from Liberty Park, that I vice versa, give the coin, that starts a conversation. That starts some kind of respect and friendship that may not have been there before. And hopefully that will carry on into 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So see, look, I'm goosebumps. It's awesome. And this is good stuff.
So follow us on Instagram and Twitter, so you can see lots going on.
Lots of traction.
And then we've really been trying. Some of our students came up with the idea of the Rebel Edge in each of the letters. So when we talk about Rebel Edge, we rise as one rebel, we embrace academic achievement, we build community through philanthropy and service, we extend the legacy of those before us, we lead the march for progress. We really don't have a legacy at the freshman campus. So that's what we're trying to do. What do you want your legacy to be? Like, you get 1 year at this place. What do you want next year's group of students to remember you for? So that's really what we've been working with our freshmen, getting information, like what legacy do you want to leave? And then you can look at Edge, excellence, difference, grit, and elevation. So we've just tried to recognize people as Rebel Edge students and teachers of the week. And it's really been nice because teachers nominate, we'll start back next week, the teachers nominate students for various reasons, for anything, for exemplifying the Rebel Edge. And we have loved doing this. We probably, started out with 10 the first week, and then by the last week before Christmas, we had like 25 nominees that week. I mean, it was crazy. And the kids are excited about it, and then we put their name in a drawing so they can get something out of the Rebel Edge Spirit Store. But, we've been doing that, and we also, we recognize our Rebel Edge Teachers of the Week, and sometimes we let the students nominate the Teachers of the Week, so that's really fun as well. So it's just been, it's been great. I mean, I know it's been a weird year, but we've tried to make the best of it.
We make it work.
I think the students, we're going to keep getting better every day. So do you guys have any questions or have anything you'd like to know more about?
When all this came about, one of the hopes was that, and you mentioned it, Liberty Park and Pizitz unifying are coming together. And we all know there's an invisible border around some. There's still Liberty Park, there's still this side of 31 kids. Are y'all seeing them blending and uniting as a freshman class?
I couldn't tell you who's Liberty Park and who's Pizitz. It seems that way.
Especially when they come out for these leadership groups. I mean, they're all blended in together and work together and discuss ideas. So right now, the blending has happened very well, it appears.
How has the pandemic actually provided you opportunity to more tightly just focus on freshman campus? One of your challenges before all this started was how do we try to mold some experiences with high school, and really that's been off the table. So how has that been a momentum builder for you?
We've been able to have a lot of the high school, the main campus students come to our school. So I think that's been valuable for the kids to get one-on-one time with some of the older students so they can talk to them about whether it's RISE, whether it's youth leadership, whether it's BNN. So I think that's been a positive thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would be a good question to ask our students is what your expectations were. I mean, right now they do not seem to be disappointed in any way. I think we've provided so many different opportunities for them. They're excited about being where they are, not necessarily thinking ahead already.
I mean, I have the ninth grade. I think I'm the only one coming through, don't I? I mean, so I tell you from a parent, from my kid, y'all have knocked it out of the park. From every academic class to advisory to athletics, my kid loves to go to school every day. And I've done this both ways, right? So I have one at the high school who went ninth grade at the high school, and she loved it too. But it has been smaller. It's been easier to get to know every kid. So Jackson now knows all 557 kids, which would not have happened at the high school. But everything that we have seen there, everything that's gone above, beyond, extra, every academic class, they have, in my opinion, of all the schools my kids are in, this campus has learned as if nothing was going on around the outside. And I can't speak of a higher praise as a parent than to give you that, because the alternating days were tough and it was a little harder, but once they really got in the groove, I mean, they wouldn't have chosen a different way. And as a parent, I'm thrilled to have a little bit of extra separation for a 15-year-old from an 18-year-old. And so this has been a perfect model, perfectly executed in my parental opinion.
Thank you. And we've seen a lot of growth in the students as well. It's been fun to watch them from the beginning to now, and even the next few months, we're going to see even more growth.
I appreciate how you have melded the middle school concepts, that fun, exciting, team building type things into a school where transcripts starting matter, and the serious nature of academics and specializations, things start happening, and how you've been able to blend those two and make that transition. That's what freshman campus ought to be about, is the smooth transition. So I think it's been excellent.
I think, I was just so excited watching that. And like the challenge coins, those are so cool because I know, we've gotten challenge coins before and they are just a reminder of of a success and something that you've overcome and something that you did a great job and it will always be that reminder. And I think, the amount of planning and details that just went into pulling off the first day of class, was tremendous. And I think we were always confident in the leadership team that, this was a great group that could make this happen. But y'all have just so far exceeded that. And I'm so excited for the confidence that these kids are going to have when they go to the main campus. And they're just, I don't want to say all of phenomenal.
I have been amazed by just the will and desire that the students have to lead. They just are looking for opportunities to lead. What do you need? Where can I help? Can you plug me in somewhere? And that's really cool to see.
It's like you've given them that safe space
Yeah.
for transition. And you've given them really the gift of time to make this transition without, without the other 1,500 students in the mix. And,
I can't say enough about this crew, and I don't have all of them up there, but just how they make it happen every day.
Yeah, they supply that confidence to our kids.
And just, choosing the students of the week, submitting people for the leadership team, being willing to step, like people just jump in and help wherever needed. So it's really nice to have.
but it's also the culture that y'all have created that encourages that, because you can ask for students of the week till you're blue in the face. But if you create a culture where people want to do that. And that's what y'all have done.
So the charge for our office now is, it's really been a good start, is to reach out to Ms. Roselle and the team, Ms. Brandon Shower, what now? So what have we learned at this point that needs to happen to move the campus further in a even better direction? So we'll start that outreach now, and then we'll follow back up in the spring with what those things look like.
Thank you all for that.
Appreciate it.
Great presentation. Where can I get a copy of the rubber pledge?
It's on the website.
Not this version.
Do we have any?
Love to have a copy, sir. We'll get it for you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. If there's no other business, we have a motion to adjourn. So maybe. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.